you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche And after 22 years, Raymond Mark!
The sickest NHL podcast. Brought to you by TCS Customs and Logistics. Moving pieces, delivering peace of mind. It's gonna be sick.
No. Nope. Nope. Now we hear you.
You got me now?
Yes, we do.
All right. Who knows? The wonderful world of technology here at Logan Airport. I'm Jimmy Murphy. He is Pierre McGuire. We are live here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. I am getting ready to board a flight to Las Vegas to go to the NHL draft. Pierre is in Massachusetts here. Pierre, first of all, how are you today?
Excellent. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'd be better if I was on my laptop, I'll tell you that, but we will make do.
You're doing fine. You're doing great. There's one of the things I really admire about you. You're willing to do whatever it takes to make the show good. So well done, Jim.
That's what we will do. And, of course, lots going on, Pierre. A lot of chatter going on as we expected. We're hearing a lot of trade stuff as we head into this draft. We do still believe that this is going to be a very active draft on the trade market. Pierre, I'll get right into it right now. Off the top of your head, who's a team that maybe people aren't talking about that you would keep an eye on?
Oh, I think there's a bunch of them, Jimmy. What about the Edmonton Oilers? They just got done with their run to the Stanley Cup final, and I think that they want to be busy, and I think they might be busy. What about the Toronto Maple Leafs? I think that, another first-round loss doesn't sit well with their fan base, and I think they tried to be real busy last week on Markstrom and New Jersey. So, what about the Columbus Blue Jackets with the new general manager and Donnie Waddell? What about the Pittsburgh Penguins, who I've missed the playoffs the last 2 years? What about the New York Rangers?
Yeah.
I think we're going to have major activity. Again, I was at the Hockey Hall of Fame meetings yesterday, Jimmy, and there were a lot of decision makers there, and a lot of them were busy. They were busy. They were busy with Hall of Fame stuff, and they were busy with their team stuff. It's a busy time.
Nice. And one team, too, Pierre, like I said to you off the air earlier today, Utah Hockey Club, I think, is a team with all the money and the cap space that they have to spend, and an owner that wants to spend a lot and wants to make a splash. I think they're an interesting team to watch, not just because of the money and the cap space, but also because of the picks and prospects that they've accumulated over the past few years. Could they now use that as trade arsenal, so to speak, Pierre?
For sure. And I think that's a really good point by you, Jimmy. I think it's a really, really good point. Here's one thing I do want to tell you. I'm surprised there's so much intel coming out before July 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just telling you, I've spoken to a bunch of agents, and their clients or the agents have been contacted on behalf of the clients. And, at some point, is there going to be tampering violations going on here? Because there's supposed to be nothing going on until the recruitment period starts. And I'm telling you right now, I agree with you. I will not tell you the names of the different agents that I've spoken to, but there's a lot going on, Jimmy. There's a lot going on.
I'm with you there, Pierre. And one thing, too, I look at, too, the Florida Panthers, not that I don't know how active they'll be on the trade market, but they've got a lot of internal decisions to make, Pierre. I was looking at their free agent list yesterday. A lot of UFAs on that. Obviously, Sam Reinhart, Brandon Montour, the biggest names there. Reinhart came out yesterday. Now, of course, you're always going to say this after you just won a Stanley Cup with a team, right? But Reinhart said he really is adamant about remaining a Florida Panther. saying, I love it here. I want to stay. I want to make it happen if I can. So on that note, Pierre, when you're ownership or you're the management crew there, you're Bill Zito and his wonderful crew, Rick Dudley, Fenton, all those guys, what are you doing when you hear a player say that? That's obviously a key part of your team. What can you do to make that come to fruition? Because it might not be your choice because of just the salary cap.
Well, you got to talk to the agent. I mean, that's what's really important. You got to talk to the agent. If he wants to make it work, he'll do what Steven Stamkos did in his last contract, and he'll make it work. Steven got a haircut to stay in Tampa, and it worked out unbelievably well for him. He won 2 Stanley Cups and went to a final a third time. So, there's nothing negative that happened to Steven off his last contract. And I would say for Reinhart, he can make the same thing happen. I'd be shocked, Jimmy. I'm just saying this. I'm not trying to scare people in Florida. I'll be absolutely shocked if Brandon Montour signs with the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, I just don't see how you do both. And honestly, just with some of the other stuff they have on the blue line now, Pierre, it makes it's not that they don't want to keep him. It's the reality of the situation. I'm with you on that. And Pierre, I think, look, you've mentioned it many times during the playoffs, and even as the season was winding down, you mentioned the Toronto Maple Leafs is a potential destination for him. I've heard other people start to say that now, Pierre. I don't know if they're listening to the eye test or what, but that's starting to gain some steam there. Man, can you imagine him manufacturing that power play with the weapons they already have?
Yeah, that's why I think it's such a perfect marriage, and it's really well said, and I agree with you, Jimmy. They would take a lot of pressure off of Morgan Riley and allow him to play more comfortable, I think. I'm not sure he's really comfortable playing the point on the power play and being a quarterback. Montour is. Now, did he have some gaffes during the Stanley Cup final? He did, but I don't think he was 100%, and I know he wasn't 100%. I would say that if you were to ask me right now to say you can pick any of the other 31 teams in the NHL besides Florida where you think Brandon Montour could end up, and I would say I'd have Toronto at number 1. We're not hearing you.
We're going to get right to questions in a bit, Pierre. But one more final thing I want to talk to you about is a lot of buzz today because some gambling outlets were starting to release odds on where Leon Draisaitl might end up if he's traded. So I haven't heard anything that he's getting traded yet. Pierre, but you were talking about Edmonton being active on the trade market. Circling back to that and then connecting Leon Draisaitl here. They are going to, I would think, if they want to keep both Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl going forward, that they're going to have to use that trade market to facilitate the cap space they need to do so. However, if you're looking at the team, I think we're in agreement they still need some help on defense, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. So on that note, do you agree with me that, and again, I'm not trying to scare Oilers fans, and I haven't heard anything that he's getting moved at all. I'm just trying to make sense of it. How do you keep both those guys and shore up that defense under the salary cap? I just don't know how you do it.
First of all, you got to hope that there's some other things that come into play.
Mm-hmm.
You may be needing some help from other teams. Won't be easy. But, again, sometimes guys get really comfortable and they're not afraid to stay in a certain place. The relationship with Draisaitl and McDavid's pretty special. So I think that factors in a lot more than what some of the pundits are saying. I really do. I think that matters a lot. Just from the years that I've been around, when star players have relations with other star players on their team and it's very comfortable – and they see a pathway to victory together, sometimes there's just guys are prepared to accommodate one another. And I think that could be the case with Draisaitl.
I think that's a great point there, Pierre. And as you're saying that, I'm thinking about how much more tighter are they now? How much more is that relationship strengthened when you go through a playoff run like you just did? When you lay it all on the line and you get to Game 7, you erase a 3-0 deficit in a series, you get to Game 7, you lose by 1 goal. I would think that not just internally, individually, but as you just said, as a tandem there, as a duo that's worked so hard together to get to that point, you probably want to finish that that dream together. So that's a great point by you. We'll see what happens. All right, Pierre, I'm going to read our sponsors quick because we're up against it with time, and I've got bad technical issues going on here. So let's get to the sponsor. We'll get right to the questions here. I want to talk to you right now, Pierre, and I haven't seen them come out with any Leon Draisaitl odds yet, but I want to urge everybody over there to get your NHL draft odds, your MLB, your Euro championships, and anything else sports related. Go over right now to Betway, because Betway is a leading global online betting and gaming brand. Follow your gut instinct. Go with Betway. Go to on betway.com or scan the QR code right in front of you to join the action. You must be 18 plus or play responsibly. And then, of course, let's go to our other sponsor, TCS. Can't wait to meet these guys, Pierre, this summer when we're up in Montreal. Looking forward to meeting Michael. Unlock the full potential of your shipping operation with TCS Customs and Logistics, from around the corner to around the world. Flatbeds to air freight, customs clearance to drawback consulting. TCS is a one-stop shop for all things transports, moving pieces and delivering a peace of mind. For no obligation customs or freight quote, contact Sick Podcast at shiptcs.com. Again, that's Sick Podcast at shiptcs.com. All right, let's go to our questions here. What do we got? All right. Shado Hudon says, hi, guys. Pierre, if Kent Hughes were to call you for head coach in Laval, would you consider it?
100%.
There we go. There's your answer, right to the point. All right, next question. Kook69, your thoughts on the new expansions of rules?
I don't know which rules he's alluding.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's referring to. I haven't seen yet, but once we find out, ask us again. All right, next question. Kook69, I see the NHL Board of Governors, oh, there we go, ratified 4 new rule changes. Expansion of coaches' challenge for puck over the glass, and a warning instead of removal for attacking players on faceoffs. Interesting. Pierre, you want to respond to that?
First of all, the review for puck over the glass, I've been calling for this for, I would say, at least 7 to 10 years. And one time I said it on a national broadcast and I got excoriated by somebody in the league office. And now all of a sudden it's okay to say we need to do that. So, yeah, that should have been done a long time ago. And you know me, I don't like to get dark and roll around in the dirt, on the negative side of things. But that's a very obvious one, and it should have been in a long time ago. And the person that called me probably is watching this show, maybe not now, but will. And they owe me an apology. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm with you on that, Pierre. And there's something I want to talk about later, but I'll discuss with you off the air, and then maybe I'll discuss it with our wonderful viewers and listeners tomorrow, if you're cool with it, in terms of people owing you an apology. All right, next question. John Smith, any coaches on the hot seat to start next season?
I don't think so. I mean, everybody, there'll be expectations for a lot of teams, but Toronto's got a new coach. Mike Sullivan's got a long contract. I mean, there's expectation in New York, but I think Laviolette's good. Brand new coach, and you got 16 new coaches. I don't think so.
What about coaches, Pierre, on a short leash? There's got to be some of those, I would think.
Yeah, I would say so. Say so, but you got a new coach in San Jose, so that's going to be a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Utah. If you ask me, new owner, new city. If you don't get out of the blocks quick, maybe that's an issue.
All right, I'm with you on that. All right, next question. Randy Workman, Jimmy and Pierre, is Maurice make it to the Hall of Fame? I say yes. I don't know about you, Pierre. What do you think?
I can't comment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my Paul. Okay, next question. John Smith, are you expecting more hockey trades over the next few weeks with the cap going up or less? Safe travels, Jimmy. Thank you, John. I do see some hockey trades. Actually, I'm glad he mentioned the term hockey trades, Pierre, because here's something I want to bring up. You mentioned Columbus as a potential busy team. Waddell's on record as saying he wants a hockey trade for Patrick Laine. Considering all the luggage that Laine carries right now on and off the ice, can he get such a trade right now, or might he have to settle a little less than what he might want?
I think that's a trade that's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's making that trade blind, saying, yeah, we trust you. We're just going to do it. I don't think so.
Yeah. It's going to take some time to formulate. All right. Next question. Kook69. Utah is looking for top D pairing. They look like they will be a force right out of the gate. Yeah, I think that's true because they need deep.
Yeah, they should be good. I agree. But again, they're in a tough neighborhood.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good teams. There are a lot of up-and-coming teams like they are. Let's say you have a key injury for whatever reason. Let's just say Logan Cooley doesn't produce at the level you expect, or let's just say Clayton Keller gets hurt. There's not a lot of wiggle room there. Like they got to keep everybody in line and healthy. If they don't, I think that's where it could be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, and Pierre, who is I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was somebody. Remember, halfway through the season, Arizona, they're now Utah, but they were in playoff contention, if you recall. And somebody big got hurt. I can't remember. So that just proves your point that if they one big injury, they can't overcome that yet. They need to build the depth.
Yeah,
So,
they do. They need depth. It's just the reality of the whole thing.
all right. Next question. Randy Workman. I think the Sabres will be trading their first-round pick.
What are they getting for it, Randy?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big question. I can see where Randy's coming from just because, Pierre, of how many picks and how many young players and how many prospects they've accumulated and are now filtering into their roster. I get what Randy's saying there, but yeah, it depends what they're going to get, right?
Yeah, what are you getting? I mean, you talk about pressure. Lindy Ruff is a brand new coach there, even though he's not new, but he is a new coach. And Kevin Adams has been there for a while now. And I don't know how much longer people are going to tolerate, oh, yeah, we're going to be better next year. Yeah, we're going to be better next year. I don't think that's going to work this year. So they better be better.
All right, next question. Randy Workman again. Jimmy and Pierre, do the Bruins try to trade DeBrusque rights? Maybe.
I thought they would have done that a while ago, actually.
Yeah. On that note, too, Pierre, I mean, Gensel hasn't had his rights traded yet. Are you getting to the point where it's probably not going to happen with some of these players?
Unless somebody, I don't want to use the term, but unless somebody's made a side deal with an agent that represents one of the players, maybe then it could, but you never know.
All right. Next question. Randy Workman again. How much interest does Joshua get in the offseason? Of course, that's my man, Dakota Joshua, Pierre. He is a UFA. I think he's going to get a ton of interest after the season. Playoff he had.
Anytime you get over 15 goals in the league, you get interest. When you get close to 20, it's even better. And when you're over 20, it's even better. So, yeah, he'll get interest for sure. He'll get interest.
He just seems like such a good player for Rick Tocchet, though. I wonder if they try to lock him up before Monday. We'll see.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee. They got other things to worry about there too, though.
Yep.
In Edmonton, there's a lot of rumors that even though Jimmy Nils prioritized Chris Tanev, and I think a couple other teams have as well. What about Vancouver bringing Tanev back?
Mm-hmm. Would make a lot of sense.
Down to that, and this is no disrespect meant to Dakota Joshua. In the way they're set up in Vancouver, Tanev helps a lot more right now than Dakota Joshua does.
All right, next question. Kook69. I feel sorry for Corey Perry. 4 out of 5 teams, no cup, but honestly, his best years in Anaheim more than make up for it at 39 years old. Look, I do too. I wish he could have won another one, but at the same time, this guy's had a hell of a career, and I don't he should hang his head high and be proud.
He's a winner. He's a winner on all fronts. 100%.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. All right, next question. Jeffrey B. Steve Yzerman has been very active to create cap space. Obviously, they need to re-sign Seider and Raymond. Other than Patrick Kane, who else should they be targeting? A goalie.
Jimmy took the words out of my mouth. I think that they're really active in the goalie market. I don't think they need to do much. They've got a lot of really good young stuff coming. Now, they'll say, we've got, Casa, who's playing in Grand Rapids, or we have Carter Guylander, who's now in our system. We have Michael Hutchison, who's in our system. So they can say that they've got guys coming, but do they have anybody that's going to be able to get them in the playoffs next year? And I think, they have to decide whether Ville Husso is that guy or not. Yep. So Detroit's an interesting one. It is. And Yzerman, I think Steve Yzerman has done a fantastic job since he's
I
got
do too.
building it up. Once they start to really get going, it's going to last. It's not going to just be one and done. It's going to be built, and it's going to last for a while.
Like Tampa. All right. I think we got one more question here. Let's see it. Chris Lesperance, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Ottawa and Buffalo and Detroit are going to get better. Who will get worse? That's an interesting question.
Well, you're talking about in the Atlantic Division, or you're talking about the whole Eastern Conference? Because
I'm not sure, but let's stay in the Atlantic.
And Chris said there. So here's the one thing I would say. The jury's out on the New York Islanders. Was Philadelphia overrated last year? Will the Washington Capitals continue to improve, especially down the middle? You know, if Pierre-Luc Dubois doesn't pan out, that could be a problem in Washington. What's going to happen with the new coach, who we don't even know yet in Columbus, and the new management team in Columbus? We don't know. Are the Pittsburgh Penguins going to be a playoff team next year? Right now, I'd say on paper, you'd say no. You know, Jimmy, so there's some really interesting storylines going into what's Carolina. Carolina, Jimmy, it's the ultimate referendum on analytics. If it works, then you have to say analytics, it works, because that's the foundation for their hiring of their new general manager. If it doesn't work and they take a step back, what happens then?
I'm with you on that, Pierre. They've gone all in on analytics, so they better make sure they got the right players. I look at that roster too, and I'm not sure. Like, they're players that I like. They're eye test players, but I don't know how much they fit in with what they're trying to do. So we'll see what happens in Carolina. All right, listen, Pierre, I hate to cut us short today, but I want to get going here because the technology here at the airport is not that great today. So we made it happen, though. Tomorrow we'll be all set up in Vegas for the next 2 days, and I want to tell everybody, I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or Friday. I should find out by tomorrow morning. But our good friend Matt Cater, speaking of Brandon Montour, the agent, will be joining us one of those days from the draft to discuss free agency, some of the picks he has, the prospects that are getting drafted of his. So looking forward to talking to Matt. We'll try to line up some other guests as well. Tony Marinaro and I and the whole Sick Podcast crew are going to be heading down to the red carpet at the NHL Awards, try and get some interviews there for you. We'll post the videos all over our network. And then we'll also do the same from the draft on Friday. So, Pierre, I look forward to speaking to you from Las Vegas next time. And I hope you have a wonderful night, my friend.
Yeah. What time are we on tomorrow?
4 p.m. Eastern.
Perfect.
All right.
Ready for you.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Pierre.
Yeah, Jimmy.
He's Pierre McGuire. I'm Jimmy Murphy. This has been another edition of the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. Brought to you by TCS Customs and Logistics. Moving pieces, delivering peace of mind.